Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This wasn't the video I actually had planned for today, but Mobile have decided to release a little teaser for what is coming next, or at least what the next LR is. This is the teaser here. This is posted by the global Twitter account, so it shows a constellation, really. And we pretty much know what the constellation is. So it is one of two Merlins. Once again, my opinion has actually changed. Initially, I thought it was going to be Merlin from when 70th League said, oh, the LR's already on the screen. I think maybe he just meant the character's name, or who the character was, and maybe not the variant. We got Merlin and we got Big Merlin. We'll have a look at Big Merlin's ult first, because I believe it's the one that is closest to the teaser. Because it has a constellation, it's actually got planets in it. So we'll play the ultimate. Let me just... After the ultimate's done, I'll put the picture back up on screen. It's got 4 planets. Also elements as well. So... And then we then put these on the screen. You could argue that all they've just done is, if you look at the ultimate, again, we'll replay the ult. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. I'll put this up here. The planets are in just the opposite order, so I can't actually do it, but they're in the opposite order. They just flipped it around from what the picture looks like. But also the reason why I think it is this Merlin is because of the effect around it and the ground. Like, it sort of makes more sense than Merlin's one. I'll keep that. I'll actually keep that top right because it's not too intruding on the screen. Merlin. There she is. I do only have a 3/6, but I do have enough fest coins to get her 5/6, which is why I'm sort of saving them. Cool. Now time to have a look at the ultimate. She has 4 elements. That's the only reason why I would say maybe it could be Merlin as well. She's got the ice and the lightning, and then she's then got the wind and the fire. But once again, both Merlins. I've got like a slight problem, I guess, with both those Merlins. Mainly just the big festival Merlin. Let me just, instead of searching up her name, can I just find her? Here she is. I have a problem with this Merlin. She sort of wasn't the best on release. She was okay. But the Sins team is a very competitive team to be in. You're fighting against Escanor, LR Diane, Liz Melly, LR Bon. You're fighting against all these characters to take the slot, unless, once again, her relic is designed to be support and backline, unless, once again, they make her, they change up her passive, make her so she is more of a backline support character, which they could quite easily do, for every Sin, or they make it so her passive works when she's in the back. That would be insane, actually. If they made it so this part of her passive worked when she was in the back. That would be pretty cool. I'm not sure what they would do about her skills, though. She got Dissolve. Maybe they give her, Dissolve and Ult Seal, because we've seen that before. So, you guarantee cannot ult when she plays it. Maybe they make that level 2, not level 1. Level 1, that would be really broken. AoE, maybe give it, Pierce or, Sever, because she's got, decent substats. Once again, this is a very old character, and LRs have all their stats boosted. But with her passive, it sort of gives her an extra, between 21 and 28% all stats, depending on how many enemies are on the field. She gets 7% all stats per enemy on the field because of her, Grady buff she applies. And then once again, her ultimate, it just applies 4 random effects. Maybe they could give it, Pierce or Spike or even Charge. It wouldn't be too bad. The multiplier on it's quite low, but then you've got this, which is quite good and makes it quite a bit stronger. But yeah, it's just, this Merlin has... It's a very selfish kit, and I feel like she got put in the back as a support because of her relic, so her kit and her relic sort of fight each other. Her passive and her relic fight each other here, and I'm not sure if they're going to try and put her back on the field as an on-field DPS, or are they still going to keep her in the back as, once again, one of those back support characters. Because she could be quite god tier. I can't really think of a backline for Sins that you'd really use. You could run Percival, I guess. Green Percival would work. And I guess she can actually still be used in the back with Sins. But up front, she has to fight LR Bon, like Queen, like LR Queen Diane, who I don't think you can really replace on a Sins team sometimes because she provides so much. She provides damage reduction. She's got a damage cap on her own taunt. She's got a damage increase with her relics. Gives you an attack related stat boost. She's got like a minimum damage. She's got ult control. She's got HP lower. She's got all of that, and she's got a 2-turn stance turn 1, which you can apply, which is broken at level 1. And I feel like that's too much to replace. The only person she could probably replace would be like, I don't know, the LR Barn or the Escanor, because Escanor's sort of fallen out of meta. It's not Escanor's fault, it's just because the meta's become so powerful. But the only good thing about Escanor is that he's really good at breaking the Liz melee shield, which this Merlin's going to need to be able to do if she gets an LR to be able to replace. Her. Unless, once again, they make it so she works with unknowns, which they could... No, they can't because it's Relic and they don't change Relic with LR. I'm an idiot. Unless they make... No, they could quite easily make it so like passive makes something to do with the relic, because they've done that in the past with relics. I'm pretty sure, where like there was a relic that made it so passives work everywhere. I think it's Zarathos's relic. It makes it so his passive works in PvP and in PvE as well, because it was only PvE only. And now we're going to have a look at the Lolly Merlin. So Lolly Merlin's a little bit of a different case. She is a very selfless character. I typed in the word... You didn't see that. But yeah, we have Lolly Merlin next. She's a very selfless... She's a very selfish character. You had Merlin, who was once again another selfish character, but this Merlin is quite a bit more selfish. The only good thing is that this Merlin has an infect skill, which is pretty good and would actually be pretty useful in today's meta. And an ultimate that gives everyone a shield. Has no multiplier effect, just a shield. And takes additional damage from Rupture, but only takes damage from basic stats. I don't know what it means by basic stats. What they should have just done is make it like a Goddess Liz shield. Actually, that would have been too broken. Which is a Power Strike single target, which, what could you give Power Strike that wouldn't make it too broken? Pierce rate, like 2 times pierce rate on top of it. I wouldn't say 2 times crit chance or 2 times crit damage, because that would be way too powerful. Because if she hit a crit, she would annihilate. I don't really know. They could give her a Flood AoE skill. I think that would be pretty cool. Who has Flood AoE? So, LR Liz has Flood AoE. I thought Flood AoE on this Infect skill would be fine. Or you go down the LR Lilia route, which was at level 1 it's just Infect, at level 2 it's Infect and remove 1 ult gauge. I feel like that would be pretty useful as well. Because I don't think Unknowns have many ult gauge removal characters that are meta, and she could be quite good for Unknowns. Once again, depends how they design her. Her ultimate could easily have a full rework, really easily. It's just got a shield at the moment. They could add an additional effect on that. They could add like a damage multiplier, like if the enemies are debuffed, or give it like weak point even. I know weak point would be insane, but the multiplier of her ult isn't too high. Yeah. 600% of 6/6, which is okay. Maybe give her like 2 times damage increase to debuffed enemies and like 2 times crit chance or whatever, so it can crit and do big damage. Because even with a 1200% multiplier at 6/6, it still would not be as high as a 6/6 Freyr ult, which has like a 1350% multiplier. That's with also Abyss as well, and this has no effect but a shield. So I think maybe giving it like weak point, so it does like more damage against debuffed enemies, and then like 2 times crit chance would be fine. Her passive gives her a damage cap, which is pretty good, and then increase attack rate stats by 1% for every 4% of HP remaining, so the higher the HP she is, the more damage she deals. It's an okay passive. Once again, she would need quite a heavy rework, but it's good because she's a very old character. She's been out for pushing 4 years this year. So she would one that I'd be quite happy with getting an LR, only because she's kind of useless right now. If they give her a decent LR, she could be quite good. But I'm also not too fussed if they give it to the big Merlin as well, because she could be an insane DPS if they just make the LR correctly. Merlin's relic is just increased damage dealt to deal with enemies by 20%. That's right, increase the hero's attack by 20% when attacking a debuffed enemy, which it's okay. It's not stupidly broken, but it could be quite decent, especially if, once again, this LR is this Merlin, but once again, it could be either or. I would prefer it to be this Merlin because she's an older character. She sort of needs more love and attention than this Merlin, who doesn't have the worst CC and can technically still be used in the back on a Sins team. And yeah, I thought I'd just go over what we could possibly see. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.